Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've got an interesting painting going on today. I did use my friend as a reference for this, but really it wasn't intended to be as a portrait. I just kind of needed a model. I wanted to draw something that was feminine but furious, which is kind of a summary of how I've been feeling lately. Very feminist and very furious. So that really impacted the way I approached this painting. I'm using my Gamblin 1980 oil paints on a 12 by 24 inch stretched canvas. This actually came in a 2-pack. The other one I used for my cat picture that I posted a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't seen that, you should totally take the time to go check it out. The first thing I did was I blocked in all the dark colors. I actually lost a little bit of footage where I started filling a bit of the eyes and eyebrows in. It doesn't really matter that much because really I kind of redo them completely a little bit later on. I found it easier to get them started at least so I could work with the emotion that I was trying to have her convey in the picture. Something, ethereal, something wise and knowing, but maternal and soft. Throughout this whole video, you can see teeny tiny little fingerprints all over the white areas where I use my pinky to steady my hand so I can do some of the finer details. I honestly have not figured out a way to keep fingerprints off of the paintings until I can go back and cover them up later. I've seen some videos where people use like a rod that they rest their wrist on, but I have a very cheap easel and I have no doubt that if I tried to support my wrist on something that I'm supporting on the easel, the whole thing is going to go toppling over. So for now, I'm just kind of trying my best with that. I do decide later to change the color of the lips. It starts off a little bit muted and I do make it a bit more fluorescent later. Now's as good a time as any to remind you all that I'm still teamed up with View Unity Gaming through Extra Life to earn some money for the Children Miracle Network hospitals. Down below, I'm going to post some information about how you can purchase art from me in a way that results in a donation. You should also definitely take the time to check out some of the other content from members of View Unity Gaming. I'm sure you'll find something that you'll definitely like. I went back and forth a few times on how I wanted the eyes to look. Ultimately, I kind of landed on wanting them to look more like daggers, so I sharpened them up a little bit, intensified the eyeliner even more than what was on the reference, and I'm going to go back in and add some fluffy eyelashes back in once it dries a bit. Honestly, one of the most frustrating things about oil painting for me is the dry time. Sometimes I really feel like I know exactly what I need to do to fix something I've made a mistake on or that hasn't gotten to where I want it to be yet. But I physically cannot touch it because it's at a point where I just cannot add anything else on or it's going to get even more messed up. So I have to wait for it to dry and that drives me crazy. I like to scribble little notes down in my phone of things to go back and work on, like corner of lips, and hopefully I'll remember what I meant when I wrote down corner of lips by the time that painting dries and I can work on it again. Well, I like everything about this painting. I'm really happy with how it came out. By far my favorite thing is the leg. I really feel like I was able to get the lighting on it just right, and I guess I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I was very, very satisfied with the way it turns out. Is it appropriate for me to say that the feeling behind this painting that I really wanted to embrace was just look around and find out? filling in the background color was extremely satisfying. I didn't really plan to make it this kind of like hot magenta color, but once I got started, I just really couldn't stop. I still wanted it to be dark, but I felt like the idea of her kind of glowing really made her pop against the dark background, so I'm glad I went with that. Alright, so this is what I've got for you. It's pretty much done. I am waiting for it to dry. It's always really hard, I feel like, to get a good image of one of my paintings when it's still wet, especially with such dark colors. Like, no matter the angle, I feel like there's always like a lot of reflection. But I'm just trying to show you what I've got going here. So I really love how the eyes came out. I was a little nervous at first. I felt like I was struggling to capture the intensity of them and like the femininity of them at the same time. So I really do like how they came out. Overall, I'm extremely happy with it. I gotta admit, it's probably one of my favorite paintings that I've done in a long time. I feel like the skin blended really well, so I was really excited. I was also pretty nervous about this hand down here, and again, I feel like that went well also. We won't pay too much attention to the other hand, but yeah. So I hope you liked this week's video. I hope that you follow me on Instagram, check out some of my other work, and I hope that you like and subscribe and, you know, wait and see what I've got coming up every Tuesday from now on. Thanks.